joining us this morning to talk about a very special event that's near and dear to you and to all of us here at Sugarloaf. It is the Maine Special Olympics, and it is the community supper. And Steve Pierce has joined us. Good morning, Steve.
Hey.
How are you? Nice
Always
to see
great to be here, as usual.
Always a pleasure. Thank you. And thanks for being here. And, of course, all your dedication for years now. How many years now you've been involved?
This will be my, well, actually, I've been involved with the event since '82. But at some point, particularly when Warren Cook took over the reins in '86, he kind of realized that the impact that it took, because the management staff was less than, and the impact it took on one of his management staff people. So, I don't know, as I got to know Warren, he approached me and said, would you kind of be the liaison between Maine Special Olympics, you know, and Sugarloaf? And I said, sure. And so, and it just took off from there. So, you know, basically, you know, from whatever that was, 86, 87, I can't remember. Yeah, you know, I've been
So
doing
it's been
it,
a few years.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, basically games director for, last year was the 30th. So,
Yeah. That's great.
So, yeah.
And coming up, it's warm right now. Do you think it will cool down as we get closer?
Well, you know, it's noted over the years, unfortunately, that it's either a positive, negative, and not it's not negative. It's unfortunately usually typical January weather, because this year the event is the 29th, 30th, and 31st of this month. It's traditionally known as brutally cold. But you know what? We've got a plan in place. And the athletes, I'll talk about the infrastructure in a second, but we always keep a plan, and they don't. That doesn't bother them.
Right.
I'm more worried about the volunteers that, you know, in a sense, or I'm concerned with the volunteers, you know, because they're out there all day,
Right.
you know, giving their time and effort, so it's really appreciated. But, you know, the athletes basically make it all worth for them. So, or, you know, the other good thing is when we had a lot of lean snow years, it seemed to be the biggest snowstorm of the year, you know, so that's the upside of it. You know, we've had to contend with that, but fortunately there was only one out of all these years that basically had twice that we've had to call the event, you know, for the final day for all the right reasons. And but that's not a bad thing, you know, so that's really good.
That is the pot. Just so people know, it doesn't take place during the week, and it starts on Sunday.
It's always a Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday event, okay? And a lot of logistical reasons, you know. Many of the athletes are part of a school system, so they got to provide busing and this, that, and there's the other very important thing, you know, medical issues, this, that. There's a lot involved behind the scenes that goes into it.
Yeah.
So, and it works very well for Sugarloaf as well to host it, you know, because it... you know, the volunteers, there's 550 athletes, and there's probably at least that many volunteers as well.
Really?
Well, we consider almost 100 right from CVA.
Right.
Okay, that's 100 right there. And there's a couple other organizations, the Independent Insurance Agents in Maine. You know, they usually bring 40 to 50 volunteers. And there's the Telephone Pioneers, which is a very long employee outfit of just the telephone companies, obviously. And they've been a major background. They do a lot of the background. You don't even see these people, a lot of them, you know.
Of course, all the game wardens will be there, too.
Oh, in particularly, another group, big back. Well, the game wardens, and they do so much. And of course, the law enforcement is huge.
Right.
The presence. I mean, I know 2 years ago when I was driving home at night after one of the, you know, I don't know, the Sunday night or Monday, I'm going down my road, and it was like a dozen state police vehicles, and I thought maybe it was an issue.
Yeah.
Well, there's a gentleman down there that opens up his house, you know, and there's like 15 of them that he says, you know, these guys need a place to stay while they're here supporting the games. Because the law enforcement, they do whatever you need, but they're very visible, particularly with the awards and just being around. And I mean, and these guys do it because the appreciation, the acknowledgement they get from the athletes.
Yeah. They love it.
Yeah.
Now, the potluck supper, this is coming up, and this is where a lot of people can help. And
absolutely,
and
yes,
tell us a little bit about what they need to do and how they can do it.
Okay, you know, fortunately, again, kudos to Bonnie Holden. She's like, I call her the hostess of this event, and again, she deserves a lot of credit. She's there to greet him, and as it's evolved because of her husband Blaine, retired warden. They take care of. It's great. They're regimented. When they get there for both, well, they're there all day long, but particularly the two dinners, a community supper and then the victory banquet. You know, they greet the athletes. And they sit them. And I mean, we feed 750, sometimes more. You know, they're sat and fed within an hour, hour and a half at the most. And it just goes like clockwork. Again, kudos to that. But what's very, very huge, and what a lot of people can do, I've always said this, is probably a few, you know, a handful of grandmas that once a year, this is like the thing they look forward to, the community supper. And as many of you that have been involved, you know, we provide the pans.
Yep.
And they're available at every grocery store in the area. Guest services, this office building, and if the need was be, you know, I don't know, we can get them to you if you'd like. All you have to do is call guest services.
And these are because they fit in chafing dishes, and that's how it's
yes.
streamlined.
Well, fortunately, again, the base lodge, obviously the kitchen is, you know, commercial. They've got the heating ovens, and, you know, we can cook 50 or 100 at a time, reheat them. And now, you know, and that's another key aspect to it. You can, you know, you can make this any day of the week, and when you're cooking your own dinner or whatever, just a simple, whatever your favorite casserole dish is, keep it simple. And you can either freeze them or refrigerate them when you know, and that's not a problem. So it doesn't have to be a fire drill that Saturday, like, oh my gosh, I want to help, and what am I going to cook, and do I have to run to the store? Well, you don't have to. You can cook it tonight if you want it, stick it in the freezer. Yeah. And we're very fortunate with the coordination, the participation of the grocery stores, you know, starting from Trenton's and Kingfield, that you can drop them off Friday night, all day Saturday, and up to noontime on Sunday. And then we have somebody go around. And fortunately, all these stores have huge refrigeration units that they can. They have a special racks that they put them in. So we make it convenient for those that want to help participate. That, you know, when you're right up here, whether it be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you can drop them off. If the stores are right on your way. If it's not Trenton's, you got IOTS, you got the Mountainside Grocery here, or if you're up in Stratton, you know, you got Fodder's, you got Pines Market.
They're all participating.
So we make it very easily accessible. We provide the pans. You know, if you don't have time to get one, then, you know, just, you know, drop off or something. You know, they have them at any grocery store all over the state. So
get yourself an extra little bit when you're at the grocery store, cook it, and you can contribute. It'll be much appreciated. There'll be lots of hungry athletes there. Stay with us, Steve. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to talk about something else that you're working on. A little surprise.